I'm really sorry I can't be with you today at the Onshore Wind Conference, but I did want to send you this message to say onshore wind is absolutely central to the government's mission to make Britain a clean energy superpower. So I want to thank Renewables UK and Scottish Renewables for bringing together investors, developers, manufacturers, and all parts of the industry together at this incredibly important event. And I in particular want to thank Dan and Claire for their leadership and advocacy for the onshore wind industry over many years. In fact, as some of you may know, I was proud to be an endorser of Dan for his candidacy for the Wind Europe board, and he was elected. Now, seriously, it's nearly 2 months since this government came to office, and in that time, we have shown our commitment to onshore wind. We lifted the onshore wind ban in England in place since 2015. We've also consented large amounts of solar, established a 2030 mission control centre in this department under Chris Stark, begun setting up Great British Energy, our publicly owned energy company, and appointed Jürgen Meyer as its startup chair. And I want to first of all say to the conference, we are just getting started. And we are moving at this pace because of the urgency of the challenges our country faces. Our energy insecurity has been laid bare by Putin's invasion of Ukraine, and the price has been paid by the British people in the worst cost of living crisis in generations. And indeed, bills are due to rise again next month in response to the latest fluctuations in global gas prices, showing just how exposed we are. And the truth that this government believes is that as long as we remain dependent on fossil fuels, every family and business in the country is strapped into the roller coaster of volatile fossil fuel markets. That's why onshore wind is so important, of course, for tackling the climate challenge that we face, but also for our energy security. And it's important too because of the challenge of creating good jobs and delivering investment in communities around the country. And this government believes that whether it is that issue of jobs or the climate crisis or energy insecurity, the solution lies in the same direction, investing in clean energy at speed and at scale. And that's why it's one of the Prime Minister's 5 driving missions to make Britain a clean energy superpower, deliver clean power by 2030 and accelerate to net zero. And we are determined, and I hope our actions have shown this, to rise to the challenge with much greater urgency than we've seen in the past. What does that mean in practice? First, we'll develop a clear plan to achieve our mission. Unless there is a line of sight for businesses, I don't see how you can have the confidence to deliver the investment in clean energy that we need. That's why, as a first step, we've asked the electricity system operator, soon to be the National Energy System Operator, to provide advice on the pathway to 2030 clean power. And their expert advice will inform the 2030 plan we publish. Second, we need to deliver the clarity and consistency needed to achieve our energy superpower goal. I said in opposition, and I say again in government, we cannot afford to rule out any clean energy technology. That's why we lifted the onshore wind ban. It's one of the cheapest and fastest sources of power we have. We need to radically increase deployment. Now, of course, as you know, lifting the ban is not enough on its own. We know the pipeline has shrunk. So third, as well as that consistency of purpose, we are committed to partnership with the industry to break down the barriers to deployment in all parts of the UK, in particular on planning and grid, supply chain and skills. That's the purpose of the Onshore Wind Task Force. I know many of its members are there today to bring together government, business, trade unions and others to overcome the barriers and unleash investment in this critical technology, indeed implementing one of the recommendations of Chris Skidmore's net zero review. And I want to thank the industry for your engagement with the task force so far. I look forward to it working speedily to deliver its final report and reach its conclusions, which we can then implement. And this will all be part of our mission, and indeed our mission control centre led by Chris Stark, which will have that laser focus on our 2030 goal. Let me just say this in conclusion. This is the job I wanted in Keir Starmer's government because it is the passion I care about the most of tackling the climate crisis and at the same time tackling the inequalities we face in our country. I see this mission, I see your role in onshore wind as being about energy security, about protecting family finances, about creating good jobs for our country, and about tackling the climate crisis. But I know we as government can't achieve it on our own. We need all of you to be part of it. So to every person, every business, every organisation in the room today, I see you as part of our mission. I think this is a genuine mission for the country. I'm in it because I care so much about it. And I look forward to working with you all in the months and years ahead to do great things for our country and set an example to the world. Thank you so much for listening to my message today.